There is a wealth of technology out there, and it is hard to navigate through all of it. I think the most important thing is to really understand from a customer perspective what's going to have the most impact. And so when we look at how we're going to leverage technology, we always do it from a customer standpoint. We don't do technology for the sake of technology any longer. It's all based on customer focus. And the digital transformation aspect of that is pretty critical. If you're moving from sort of a traditional operating model to a digital model, there are certain technologies that will give you a much greater advantage than others. And again, but it really needs to be focused around customers. No, I don't think you're wrong, but I also don't think that they're mutually exclusive. There are customer models and customer capabilities that aren't in conflict necessarily with regulatory requirements and GDPR. It's more about protecting customer information than it is, and maintaining regulatory compliance. But those don't limit your ability to provide very customer-focused solutions. And we use things like agile development processes and MVPs, minimal viable products, to sort of make sure that we're addressing those very customer-specific requirements. At the same time, we're staying within the appropriate regulatory guidelines. Yeah, so I wish that there was only one character flaw that existed in the CIO. I think that the one that really is top of mind is that CIOs that are not progressive have a bit of a tendency to be sort of this old school and very focused on purely operations and infrastructure. And I think the role of the CIO today has really changed quite dramatically to where it's more about driving innovation and helping the business succeed than just sort of operating systems behind the scene. That's sort of the table stakes now. And that would probably be the primary one that I would think most CIOs either haven't quite caught up with or often fall back upon. And the great CIOs that I know help their businesses grow, help them address customer concerns, and are part of sort of growing the company versus just behind the scenes operating and making it so that we can, collect fees. Yeah, if you're going to be a change leader today, you have to be current on the technology, and you have to be constantly evaluating the environment that you're working in. And again, this sort of comes back to this agile concept. It's very difficult to have a crystal ball that's even 3 years out today. And so, we create these strategies that are, where 1 year is a reasonable time horizon. But beyond that, you've got to constantly be reassessing and reevaluating based on shifts that are happening in technology. I don't think anybody would have predicted necessarily how pervasive and how popular the cloud has become, or what's happening with machine learning today. These are all things that 3 years ago, the cloud was obviously, up and coming, but things like machine learning over the last several years have taken on a huge impact on the industry. And so, we're finding ourselves constantly now hiring new resources and looking at new ways to use that technology. I think it's really important to be watching and keeping an eye on the relevant technology shifts that are occurring in the industry.